Here we go.
You unlock this door with a simple registration. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of memes. A dimension of trolls. A dimension of morons. You are moving into a dimension of both factual and unfactual information, of rumours and hopes. You just crossed over into the Twitter fanboy zone.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for joining once again for another Twitter fanboy zone. So this week, God of War, Ragnarok, well not released, but it's got his reviews out. The reviews have released for us all to see on Metacritic and OpenCritic. So it scored 94 on Metacritic and OpenCritic. I don't care for even release, but especially Metacritic. It's a flawed, broken mess, which I've gone to in various videos. But I just want to just highlight some of the stupidity and hypocrisy and why Metacritic is just a mess. And while doing so, highlighting how depraved and entitled the PlayStation fanbase are. So God of War Ragnarok received many outstanding reviews from IGN, just IGN alone. It's got 7 reviews from IGN alone, from Portugal, Brazil, France, Italy, Adria, everyone. Adria. If you're unsure what Adria or where Adria is, it's a town in Italy. Yeah, so IGN Italy gave a review, and a town in Italy by IGN gave the game a review. Amazing, just incredible. And of course, that is completely kosher, zero bias. That 7 IGN sites give the score God of War Ragnarok 9s and 10s. Completely fine, completely okay. Why wouldn't they score it 10? Because every PlayStation blockbuster is a 10. All of them. Nothing. Regardless. No. They're all blockbusters. Just be quiet. Stop it. They're all 10s. All of them. You cannot be anything said. So you think you're here thinking, well, what's the issue? What's the complaint? Well, IGN didn't get the memo. They didn't get the shill memo. And they scored it 6 out of 10.
You must heed my instructions! Take off your thing! I am not Greece! This is unacceptable!
What? What's going on?
All unfit citizens of Lemongrab must be reconditioned!
And of course, being the world's most toxic, entitled fanbase in the world, in the universe, in the metaverse, they decided to get all toxic and start firing racial slurs.
What?
So from the same fan base that said they support Japanese developers and PlayStation is the home of Japan, who eat rice, we got this shit.
What the fuck?
It was only 2 weeks ago. There was firing racial slurs at Brazil, if you recall, and saying they were the enemy of PlayStation. Now it's Korea. It's Korea's turn. Korea's turn to have all the racial slurs fired at them and be the enemy of PlayStation. It looks like everyone's the enemy of PlayStation, unless you agree to everything they say, unless you conform to their, well, sort of like a dictatorship, isn't it? Unless you do what they tell you to do, or unless you do what their fans tell you to do, you will get toxic slurs and hate to no end. This track comes up with some comedy gold. It was sitting higher than the original 2018 at 95 and somehow went down a point. You can always bet on those haters at the bottom of the Metacritic reviews that are biased, like Metro UK, IGN Korea. I just hope it don't go lower than 94. Has 39 reviews. Right, okay, firstly, that review from Korea, IGN Korea, wasn't on Metacritic. So it didn't affect the Metacritic score. It was on OpenCritic. Secondly, it wasn't on Metacritic because, no doubt, Sony blocked the score going onto Metacritic, so it didn't lower their score. So it went on to OpenCritic, where they, unlike Metacritic, OpenCritic doesn't just block reviews or blacklist reviews because Sony tells them to do. Like good old friend Stiviver, which we'll get on to in a minute. Yes, so this guy's a complete idiot. Furthermore, he called Metro UK bias. Metro UK is a pro-Sony site, and this is going to shock you, they scored it 8 out of 10. The biased. How dare they? How disgusting. Imagine scoring a game 8 out of 10. It's 9. If it scores under 9, then it's biased. A biased score. Anything under 9 is a bias. They're biased. Clearly, because as I said, we've established this. All Sony games are 10s, 9s, and 10s. You can't get lower. Otherwise, it's biased. Clearly. So let's get on to Stiviver. Let's look at Stiviver's score for God of War Ragnarok. Silly me, there is no score, is there? Because Sony blacklisted them because they gave, this is going to shock you, cover your ears, they gave GT7 a 7.5. This diabolical. How disgraceful. 7.5. You bastards. So let's finish up on one of our favourite Sony fanboy morons. The Red Dragon. No potatoes holding back PS5. Digital Foundry says God of War is like running on a maxed out PC with flawless performance.
Only 6.
What's your 6, Anne?
Retard.
Retard.
Red Dragon, please. You're just exposing how stupid, ignorant and hypocritical you are, and how you're just contradicting yourself in this comment. No potatoes holding back PS5. The game's also on PlayStation 4. Actually, no, sorry. Firstly, the developers of the game said the PS4 version is holding back them going full out for the PS5 version. The developers said this. Secondly, the game's also on PS4. It's a cross-gen game. So, yes, it's going to be held back by the PS4 version because it has to go by the minimum requirements, which is on PS4, not PS5. It can't max out on PS5 and then still run properly on the PS4. The PS4's got no SSD, for Christ's sake, has it? So how can it perform perfectly on the PS5 and not be held back on the PS4 version? How can it not be? You're contradicting yourself because you're the guy that says the Xbox Series S is holding back next generation because there's games on it. This game's on the PlayStation 4. How can it not be holding it back? You're an absolute moron. Finally, I'm going to leave it on this PlayStation fanboy that actually proves me right. That his stupidity proves me right. This guy says, like many of them said, there's no media bias, except in certain situations where it's usually for games they don't like. Then there's media bias if those games score certain scores. If a game scores a certain score, remember, for Sony, there's no media bias. If it scores a certain score for any other platform, any other game, any other platform, then there's media bias. Sony is not affected by media bias. Only everything else is. Everything else in the world, every game, every platform, everything, there's bias on it, but there isn't on Sony because they're that narrow, bubble-headed, minded views. They're brainwashed to the core. But this guy, that's what I just want to cover what this guy says. Just you can see the mistake he makes here. God of War is better game than the predecessor in every aspect. So if it's better than the predecessor in every aspect, how did that game score 10 out of 10? How can that game be a masterpiece, a blockbuster, score 10 out of 10, but in this game, which is better in every aspect, also score 10 out of 10? Now you see the mistake, don't you? Now you see the contradiction. Now you see how Metacritic is fundamentally flawed. You can't have two games scoring 10 out of 10, but one being better than the other in every single aspect, can you? You've literally just exposed your own narrative. So I think I'm done with these stupid people for another week. Hope you enjoyed that. Please leave in the comments below what you think. What if you're playing God of War? Hope you enjoyed it. Well, it's not out yet, but when it comes out, hope you enjoy it. But please don't take Metacritic or anything like that to heart. There's a clear bias, and why wouldn't there be? They're just journalists at the end of the day. They're just people like you and I. And everyone is fundamentally flawed or biased in some manner. So thank you all for watching. Please drop a like. Please drop a share. Share this out. I'd like to get some more views, more comments, get some comments going. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye for now.
I won't lose next time either.